What's up, New Jersey? Welcome back to another episode of the NJ1ST podcast. My name is Ryan McDonald. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. You'll gain a lot of information regarding NJ1ST politics and New Jersey politics in general. This video is going to be about voter registrations. Specifically, this map here shows from February to April in 2023. The primary elections are 6/6/2023, so that is June 6th, 2023. Make sure to vote for grassroots, candidates that actually represent how you want them to go down to Trenton and vote. Look up their voting records if they are being reelected. This map here shows the margin increase for Republicans in legislative districts, key legislative districts, as described here, Trenton News Network on Twitter. Make sure to follow them. A lot of good information that they report, as well as at NJ1ST, the Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, my personal Twitter at Ryan McDonald USA, and Substack, ryanmcdonald.substack.com. This shows the legislative districts. Now, the legislative districts did change as of last year, 2022, when the whole state redistricted from congressional districts and legislative districts. So we're going to go step by step these that Trenton News Network has listed here. The Republican gained 224 in legislative district 2, and we're going to come to a map over here, shows all the legislative districts as well as the municipalities. But legislative district 2 is all the way down in South New Jersey, Atlantic County, Atlantic City, New Jersey, and they gained, as it says here, Trenton News Network, 224 Republicans gained here. So whether or not there were any Democrats registered, it doesn't matter. There was a net gain for Republicans as 224, which is good news. Legislative District 3 gained 299 Republicans, and Legislative District 3 is over here in Salem County. Legislative District 4 gained 236, and that is right smack dab in the middle of South New Jersey. Legislative District 8 only gained 38 Republicans, so it's either going to be a tight race there or it's a blowout. And Legislative District 8 is right in the center of South Jersey as well. Legislative District 11 gained 192 Republicans. That's over here in the central east part of New Jersey, the red part right here. Legislative District 16 gained 137 Democrats, and Republicans gained in every key legislative district except this one. This one is a key legislative district. It's actually Jack Ciattarelli's former district that he represented, and it's been taken over by Roy Freeman and Andrew Zwicker, which are JV team Democrats. 16 is right here. Legislative District 38 gained 206 Republicans, and that's up here in northeast New Jersey. They gained 206 Republicans, net margin, more than Democrats. New Jersey Congressional District 9 has cities like Oakland, Patterson, Garfield, Clifton, Passaic. It has Billy Prempeh. That's the most important part, because here is a comparison from 2020, when he ran in 2020, took on Bill Pascrell Jr. for the first time, and the comparison in his work accomplished in 2022 when he took him on again. The comparison in Bergen went from a Democrat plus 24 margin all the way down to a Bergen plus 1.3 Democrat margin. That is enormous. As well as with Passaic, plus 50 Democrats in Passaic. That's what Billy was going up against when I was supporting him. I was endorsing him. No NJGOP person supported Billy at all, and he was going up against this monster. Now, of course, every NJGOP Republican supports Billy now, because look at the work that he did. He changed Passaic to plus 23 in 2022. Hudson, it didn't go as well, and that is 100% the fault of Jose Arango, the chairman and the chair of chairs, the guy who's calling every Republican that supports Trump an extremist and doesn't really get involved at all, except when he wants to spoil races. Even though this is majority Democrat, it has swayed enough, and people will sit out the 2024 vote for Democrats the same way that they're going to sit out the 2023 vote for Democrats. There's not going to be a blue wave. There's not going to be a red wave, but there is going to be a chance to get Republicans elected. And that's what we're going to look at with Billy. He saw this same post and has a whole outline here of breaking it down. So I encourage you guys to come read Billy Prempe's breakdown of how he was able to accomplish this Congressional District 9 turnaround in just 2 years. And in 2024, Billy Prempe will flip the district. You'll see that they're going to ditch Bill Pascrell Jr. There's going to be an attempt to primary him. And this is where I want to bring it one more tweet from Billy saying he just got off the phone with a registered Democrat. He's donated already to Billy for 2024. Basement Bill has got to go. Billy's born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey, and so is Bill Pascrell. The difference is that Billy walks amongst his constituents and talks to them. This here is a Democrat that is primarying Senator Menendez to be the Democrat Senate pick in 2024. His name is Joe Signorello, and he lost his election to John Bramnick in last elections in, I suppose, 2021. And now John Bramnick is up for re-election again. He's going to run for governor as well in 2025. People are already suspecting. But here's a live stream of a Democrat talking about the NJ Elections Transparency Act, where Phil Murphy got rid of a independent watchdog for the ELEC, the ELEC. That's where they take account for and track all the donations and money and dark money for campaigns. So a lot of people were upset about this, but what I found in this clip was that even the Democrats are depressed, dismayed. They don't think that they're going to turn out well. There's not going to be a blue wave, like I said before, and let's hear it from their mouths themselves.
First and foremost, elected official, but second off, also a Democrat that wants to see other Democrats get elected. I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face, and I think it's going to be one of those things where, like in 2021, nobody's going to believe me until it happens, right? So 2021, I ran for state senate. Phil Murphy was going to win by 9 points, and Democrats was going to be another blue wave in the state of New Jersey. It didn't happen, and I told people it wasn't going to happen, and it's not going to happen this year. We have ballooning costs everywhere because pensions are going up, state health benefits are going up, insurance is going up, and it's spilling over to historically high property taxes locally in New Jersey, and it's going to kill us in purple areas. It's going to hurt us in blue areas like it's never hurt us before. And people who show up in these elections pay attention to the issues. And this is one of those things that they're going to pay attention to, in addition to stifling taxes, to look back and say, Democrats locally are losing their mandate and their grip on the ability to govern well in the state of New Jersey. This is going to be one of those moments where when we lose in places that have trended blue, and, the state legislature, Democrats are going to retain power, but it's going to be a lot closer than it should be. And that sucks. That sucks because I would say we've done a really good job of making the case for Democrats in blue areas and purple areas in the state. And I think in a couple short months, I think some really irrational decisions are going to pull back the headway and pull back the progress that we've made. And quite frankly, give Republicans an opening where, look, as much as I think New Jersey Democrats do some stupid stuff, the Republican Party really just has lost a mandate to govern, period, countrywide. So this is a disappointment. And it's not what we should stand for as a state. And quite frankly, look, I've given Governor Murphy a lot of crap. I think he does some really good stuff. But broadly, it's just things like this where I look at our elected officials in the state of New Jersey and I don't know where their heads are at sometimes. And that's it. I think everybody has a right to be mad about this. And, I hate to break it to everybody, but every Politico who's watching this, just remember, a lot of Democrats let their voice be heard by just not showing up. And I would get ready for that this year. I really would. I think 2023 is going to be a rough one, but
Let's help Billy Prempe flip Congressional District 9 in 2024. Let's get it done. But before we get to 2024, we first have 2023 general elections. Like I said previously, the primary is June 6th for New Jersey primary elections, and the general elections are in November. So Ed Durr, the senator from South New Jersey that swept away Senator Sweeney and is the MAGA America First, NJ1ST candidate down in South New Jersey, is actually having a primary. So the NJGOP is trying to get rid of him. Trenton Democrats and the Governor Murphy administration have ridiculed Republicans and concerned residents who want a moratorium to investigate the deaths of the whales and dolphins as conspiracy theorists. Senate Resolution 120 urges an immediate moratorium to investigate. Declan O'Scanlan, which is another Republican senator, came on with Senator Durr's bill as a co-sponsor. They both sponsored this bill to call for an immediate moratorium on the blasting of the ocean floor for these for the farms, the ocean wind farms, right? The turbine farms that we've discussed previously on the NJ1ST podcast. Ed Durr is sponsoring this. It's not the first time he's sponsored these bills. So this is SR 120, and I have two videos here that I'm going to play that show Ed Durr sponsoring a pro-gun concealed carry bill, as well as a bill to repeal red flag gun laws. And he also sponsored a Republican heartbeat bill. Now, the problem is that no one else is joining on these important bills, these MAGA, America First, conservative, principled bills. But at least Declan O'Scanlan jumped on this one for urging an immediate moratorium on sonar testing and wind turbine mapping due to the recent unexplained deaths of marine life off the coast of New Jersey. It'd be awesome if they did this for, illegal immigrants. Maybe try moratoriums on state income tax, or even moratoriums on foreign aid, or gifts. A moratorium on corporate lobbyists, private special interest for campaign donations. How about that? Ryan McDonald USA on YouTube, but I'm going to get banned eventually. Make sure to subscribe on Rumble, Ryan McDonald USA as well. There is one Republican in New Jersey that is offering two legislative bills regarding firearms and our Second Amendments in New Jersey. Think about it. What other New Jersey senators do you know that have been elected, you voted for, and they haven't done what this guy has done just in this 1 year? Fortunately enough for Republicans in New Jersey, you have Edward Durr, the freshman senator who defeated Steve Sweeney, reminds people on Twitter that the Senate Bill 1801 allows the ability to concealed carry. There was a sponsored bill, 2022, this year, and they want to pass it. I don't think anyone even knows about it. This bill requires an applicant for a permit to carry a handgun to complete 18 hours of comprehensive training in the use of handling and maintenance of handguns. So it's creating a training course for you to have your Second Amendment right. This bill would replace the justifiable needs standard with a requirement that an applicant for a permit to carry a firearm completes a comprehensive training requirement that we just talked about before. That includes 16 hours of classroom training as well as 2 hours of target training. The bill preserves the provision of current law that requires a background check. And the fee to obtain a permit to carry a handgun would be increased from $20 to $100. So there you go, Governor Murphy. That's all you were worried about. New Jersey Republican state senator did not stop there. He is sponsoring a bill to repeal red flag gun laws, ERPO, Extreme Risk Protection Orders. Ironically, I posted my video showing which Republicans voted yes for ERPOs in 2018. I don't know if he actually watched it, but he brought to light Senate Bill 2490 is repealing red flag gun laws. This bill repeals the Extreme Risk Protection Order Act of 2018. that Republicans voted for. Red flag gun laws prohibits a person from possessing or purchasing a firearm if that person is deemed to pose a significant danger of bodily injury to themselves or others by possessing or purchasing such firearm. It's unconstitutional, gets rid of due process, Fifth Amendment, Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizure of your property. It's against the Second Amendment, search and seizure of your firearm, point blank. Just to recap on which Republicans voted yes for the 2018 red flag gun laws. In 2018, there were 9 New Jersey Republicans who voted yes on red flag gun laws. Jay Weber, Robert Auth, Amy Hanlon, Joe Howarth, Sean Kane, Holly Shapazy, Ryan Peters, John Bramnick, Nancy Munoz. And 4 New Jersey Republicans did not vote against red flag gun laws, so they did not vote or they abstained to vote. David Wolf, Michael Patrick Carroll, John DeMayo, Greg McCucken. Now for senators in 2018 that I didn't include in that film, let's see who voted yes. Tom Kean Jr., look at that, the guy who just won Congressional District 7 to be a congressman, to flip the district, voted for red flag gun laws. Jeff Van Drew voted for red flag gun laws in 2018, but then became a Republican in 2020. So I guess he doesn't support him anymore, right? Declan O'Scanlan, you didn't vote? Why didn't you vote? Don't you like the Second Amendment? James Holtzapfel, he voted yes, he's a Republican. I don't even know if he's still in the legislature. Christopher Connors, I think he's Republican too. The late Geraldine Cardinale or whatever, he passed away. Chris Brown voted yes. He took a job with Governor Murphy. This is terrible. Edward Durr needs your help down in Trenton. He's not going to get it from fellow Republicans. None of them have co-sponsored his bill yet. Why not? Contact your Republican elected official. Ask them. Tell them to get in contact with Ed Durr, co-sponsor his bills, both of them, and let's get the ball rolling. What are we waiting for? 2023 is getting closer. That was my plea 9 months ago, and still no Republicans, even with going into the primary season, the campaign election season, nobody has even promised to join his bill, sponsor his bill, join him. He's getting primaried. We're going to go into that in a second after I play this second video of his sponsored heartbeat bill. It's actually a 12-week heartbeat bill. Let's listen.
I do not view abortion as a choice and a right. I think it's always a tragedy, and I think that it should be rare and safe. And I think we should be focusing on how to limit the number of abortions, and they ought to be able to have a common ground and consensus as to do that.
Wow, that is a relatively well-spoken Joe Biden from 2006. Joe Biden does not sound like that in 2022. No Democrat politician sounds like that in 2022. They do not even support heartbeat bills. Like Governor Murphy in New Jersey said that New Jersey would never become a heartbeat bill state. That is, that he thinks that we should be able to terminate pregnancies all the way up to 9 months. That is outrageous to me. I don't understand the logic behind that or the science behind that at all. That's why places like Pennsylvania, Republicans, are offering legislation called heartbeat bills. Georgia, too, over in the Midwest states, in the southern states, are protecting life. And now New Jersey is protecting life. Edward Durr. Who else would it be? It's called We Do a Little Trolling. See, Governor Murphy? Even the President of the United States agrees that Edward Durr's bill, Senate Bill 1107, 12-week heartbeat bill, is the right thing to do. Senate Bill 1107, Edward Durr is the sponsor. There's no co-sponsors. We have to contact your Republican senators. Tell them they have to co-sponsor Edward Durr's 12-week heartbeat bill. It's regulation on abortions because abortions have gotten out of control in states like New Jersey. Go to your Republican senators, make them speak out on this. Because there are some Republican senators or former senators that I'm going to get into that actually are pro-choice and do not speak out against it. It's a big problem that what we have in New Jersey this whole time. Rhinos. Yes, rhinos. We'll get into it. Real quick, the synopsis bans abortion procedures 12 weeks or more after fertilization. This bill provides that an abortion is not to be performed or attempted if the probable post-fertilization of the age of the unborn child is 12 weeks or greater, with a certain exception noted below. Now, I like this because it's calling it an unborn child. It's not just a fetus. It's a life. The bill provides an exception to the general restriction on abortion procedures after 12 weeks of post-fertilization age if, 1, the abortion is necessary to save the life of a pregnant woman whose life is endangered by a physical disorder, illness, injury. 2, if the pregnancy is the result of a rape, if reported by law enforcement agency. And 3, if the pregnancy is the result of a rape or incest against a minor, if reported to the law agency. So there are exceptions that they're giving to 12 weeks. It's life, people. It's life. The bill also outlines the procedures that a physician who performs or attempts an abortion must follow, consistent with the federal Born Alive Infant Protection Act. So there's a federal protection act that those southern states, Midwestern states of Republicans, protect life, So this state bill is saying it has to be consistent with the federal Born Alive Infant Protection Act. A person who performs or attempts to perform an abortion in violation of the requirement of the bill will be guilty of a crime of the third degree, which is punishable by imprisonment up to 5 years or $15,000 or both. However, a woman upon whom or an abortion is to be performed will be immune from civil criminal liability. So when you go up to them and tell them they should support this 12-week heartbeat bill, and they say, no, we don't want to go after women for bodily autonomy. It's right there, the bill. It's not criminally liable for women. It's the doctors they're going after. If you made it this far through the NJ1ST podcast episode and love what you see of Edward Durr and my reporting of the last year, we have a text message from Assemblywoman Beth Sawyer, a statement on her state Senate candidacy. I filed to run for state Senate today. The results of last year's elections demonstrate that the candidates do matter. Ed Durr has proven himself unsuitable for office and will not be reelected. If we let him run in November, he will pull the entire Republican ticket down. I have too much invested in this community to allow that to happen. I'm the only candidate who can defeat the Democrats, even though Senator Ed Durr just did. As your senator, I will fight hard, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Assemblywoman Beth Sawyer from the NJGOP is an assemblywoman already, and she's like, nah, it's not enough. I need Ed Durr's position. Why? What? It looks like Ed Durr said no to the debate. I think Ed probably is smart for not doing it, but he most certainly should, if you ask me. But he definitely needs to do it for the general election. But in my opinion, no, I'm not any supporter of the NJGOP, but I am a supporter of primaries and debates. Even though I outlined how strong Ed Durr is for sponsoring those bills when no other Republican would, Beth Sawyer thinks that Ed Durr is a wimp. She said, so much for the Tough Guy Trucker Act from Senator Durr. The longer this goes on, the Republicans in Gloucester, Salem, and Cumberland counties will realize it's all a farce. What's a farce? Everything I just outlined before of what he's been doing? Ed's handlers know that I would crush him in a debate. He doesn't know the issues and can't defend his positions and repeats gaffes. I would urge my fellow Republicans to ask themselves, if Ed can't debate me in this primary, how can I just showed you all the stuff that he's been doing, Beth. Oh, Beth. If anybody wants to go ask Beth a question, she's having her April 22nd campaign kickoff with a bunch of other rhinos, it seems like. She took to Twitter and got ratioed really hard. If you scroll down, 6 hours, 2 likes, but a lot of comments. There is a point where Beth Sawyer, you have to ask yourself, is your Senate race more about hatred for someone who gets more press because Ed is for the people and not for himself? I guess I'm voting for Ed Durr then. He's never acted like the trucker tough guy. Where did you get that? You're a hater and have nothing of substance. He's never acted like the trucker tough guy. Yeah, he's been conservative, The trucker tough guy was what Fox News gave him, to be honest. Trucker is what he retired doing. Now he's a senator, state senator. Can I ask why you wouldn't support a fellow Republican who had possible the greatest political upset in New Jersey political history? You're a fraud, and there's countless ratios. I'm telling you, Rhino alert. You're a Rhino, you mean nothing. Oh, look at that. We don't need any more rhinos in the NJ legislature, Assemblywoman. What are you doing? You're an Assemblywoman for the Republicans, and you're trying to take out one of the most loved and monumental Republican. What are you doing? Ratioed the hell out of it. It keeps going, guys. And look, even pictures with her and Democrats, Governor Murphy too. Keeps going. Wow. So, yeah, NJ Independence, America First, Conservatives, Right Wing, whatever you have it, they handed it to her. 5,000 views. Thank you for watching another episode of the NJ First podcast. Make sure to subscribe also to my personal YouTube channel, Ryan McDonald USA. I have a new upload, has almost 300 views. Mikey Sherrill, a good 10 minutes of her talking about abortion, women's health care, and also international relations with the Ukraine-Russia war. So it's very important information. I'm glad that I have it, but I was actually censored by the Rebovich Institute at Rider University, the Rebovich Institute of New Jersey Politics. But Micah Rasmussen was the director, and he actually had to make a public apology to me. If you want to pause this, and you can read that all right there. But that is him apologizing for censoring me, even though he was reluctant in making that response to my complaint. I sent it right to the president. Are you kidding me? So subscribe to my social medias, Ryan McDonald USA, as well as the NJ First podcast, and on Twitter, Instagram as well, NJ First and Ryan McDonald USA. Thanks for watching, guys.